Hello everyone and welcome back to Mag Mammal 3. So, today is a new day, bit more time to record, so we're actually going to change character. Although Sunstar only played 3 stages, the last stage was quite a lengthy one, so I think that's okay for now. Plus we still have some questions to show off. Once I finally go through all of them, I'll have a decision to make whether I want to add some more custom ones or whether we're going to start recycling some of my more favourite ones. But for now, who have we got next? Waltz. From Mega Man Dreamwave Productions. What do we have, Waltz? Is that? Oh, it's reggae! Ah. Yeah, so it's Reggae Jet, Bike, and Coil. Amazing. I like the animation. Climbing animation, of course. Spinning. And we definitely have enough tokens, don't we? 30, 25. I still feel it's worth checking out the casino, so let's go and see what we can get. I could honestly say for the key, which is 100 tokens, but that's gonna take a while. And if there are some power-ups which would help, I might as well get them. For instance, I mean, I'm already full on bolts, so I really don't want that. Reinforced wind. Okay, sounds decent. Fly through enemy attack. Sounds quite good actually. That's just gonna save time. That doesn't really sound that good. Don't really want that unless I'm secret hunting. Don't really need that. And that's just an extra bonus. So let's do Shadow Slide. So now when I slide through enemies, I don't take damage. That's what I understand here. But for now, let's run back to tier 8. As we're making some steady progress. We've had some huge stages in here. Most of these are stacked with tokens as well. Which means if you miss them, you have to replay. Oh, and I guess we can talk to Pirate Man and see what she tell me about the Waltz costume. So let's see. Don't tell us all, but the truth is, you've been an anomaly, a strange siren who ought not exist in the world. Somehow you slipped through the cracks of reality and landed here from whatever forsaken void you came from. It can happen. Where do you think those land tubers, Oil Man and Time Man came from? They weren't always there. Nay, I know the truth, even if the world chooses to forget it. There were only 6 robots, and there is no Waltz. I guess that's referring to the original Mega Man, where there is only 6, whereas every other official title has 8. So I suppose Oil Man and Time Man at some point, maybe they were scrapped, were meant to be part of the original 8. Because in Mega Man Powered Up, they are the extra 2 Robot Masters. This looks like Clown Man. Or it has Clown Man's face, but it's Belay clearly. I swear, ever since he found his old costume, Punk's been very judgmental lately. He thinks he's so cool in that stupid pineapple suit, when clearly beats are superior. I have the best costume out of anyone here, and I'll beat up anyone who says otherwise, with beats. Not gonna lie, I really like Scarman's costume. Also, what on earth is going on here on this entry? I mean, we're playing 89th place, but what the hell is this? Is that Brainbot? Is anyone out there? Ah, you there? Do you think you could assist me? I appear to be trapped inside this metal chamber. The pineapple said that an optimal costume for me was stored inside, but when I went to inspect, something pushed me inside. On closer examination, I can conclude that it is empty, but I cannot open the door. How unusual. No wonder you can't get out. Someone's wielded the locker door shut. Now, why would anyone bar the outside of the locker door? Wait, and you can't actually help them? Come on, Waltz. Anyway, we have 89th place. So, what do we have today? Working in the Rain by the Retro Dude with an overall score of 55.80. Looking at scores, Flashman is the highest, but only by a point compared to Patchy. whereas the other three judges are pretty similar on across the board. So most of its score naturally comes from design because that's where most of it is available. Over half, just under half for fun. Really wasn't that creative for Ace or Shin, so just under half there. Aesthetics were decent, maybe could have been better, and functionality is pretty much flawless besides Mick experiencing some things here and there. Well, with that said, we've got Working in the Rain, so is it going to be a water theme stage of some sort? And another big one. I mean, I should expect this at this point because there's so many tokens in this here. So, do we have wind at play? We shall see. Work? Yes, yes we do. So we have... It's Gusman Power Set with Toadman Wind Physics. Or Rain rather. But it's only when you're jumping. Okay. I mean, we've seen Hammer Goes so many times. Oh, hello! Of course frogs would be here. Oh, I just realized the charge shot. Sorry, the Buster shot is a completely different sprite to normal as well. So some of these jumps are actually more precarious than they look because you're getting pushed back. Ah, nice snipe. Like this one. Oh, nice. Hello, Blinky, Binky, I think your name was. I guess down we go, because it doesn't look like there's going to be anything up here, but... Can always check. Alright. Working in the rain, huh? Oh, I see another gimmick to be about to be introduced. The boulders from Stone Man stage? No, Drill Man's. Mini boss. Any up and downs? No, okay. Oh, I see. You're showing me that boulders will likely start dropping. So because there's no background here, I assume boulders. Yep. That's a nice towel. Nice introduction to the gimmick. Well handled. So this is the equivalent of crystal droppers, if anything. Oh, hello. How was I meant to go up there? Oh, hello. I didn't even see that. But I guess maybe I should have predicted it because there is no background here. Well, this is a very busy stage. We'll just do that. Moving on. Working in the rain. How creative are these wind and boulder gimmicks going to get? I wonder. The aesthetic has changed. It looks really cool actually now. Oh, that's a forward jump momentum. I see. Okay, that's really cool. Although the background continues there. Ah, but I don't want to throw myself down a pit with no checkpoint. No, I'm not throwing myself down there. Oh, we already know what boss is coming. The mini boss, huh? Okay. Can I go back? No, I didn't think so. Well, if I'm missing... Never mind. So, now we have the gimmick working in our favor. So that jump should be possible. Or so I thought. Oh, right, it only works one way, so that isn't doable without utility, is it? I mean, I would just grab it with Magnet Beam. That's what I have it for. Oh, that destroys the hammer as well? I wasn't expecting that. I'm fully expecting an Escaru in this stage, and I haven't seen one yet. Alright, another jump. Big jump, huh? Yep. Oh, I'm not a fan of the fog here. Oh, I'm really not a fan. Oh, I really want that. Right, there's the third token. Okay, let's be smart about this. Can I go through here? No, I cannot. So, that's gonna push me back, so do not fall left under any circumstance. Yeah, go away, Froggy. Okay, big jump. Big jump! Alright, Froggy. So far, so good. Yeah, take that, Hammer Joes. Energy tank. We don't really need it, but... No, 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 no! Ow. We don't really need it, but it would be nice to refill HP there. Hey, we already had this setup before. It feels like. And we're back outside, so this enemy's used again. I was actually thinking of it, that we haven't seen this enemy since the beginning of the stage, but it's come back. So you're not forgetting about your enemy, which is good. It's trying to stay thematically coherent. Is there anything I can do with my bolts? Why have I lost them? Oh, because I bought a costume. Right. I was gonna say, why do I not have 9,999 anymore? Okay, I see. Alright. Okay, now we're gonna start getting creative with... Oh god. That's gonna push me to the left, but I think I should just be able to fall, yeah. Damn it! It was going so well! Bonked my head though. Oh. Ow! I don't expect the last token to be hidden anywhere, but now that I see the boss gate, it makes me worried. But the fourth token was just picked up. Maybe this is another mid-boss. Yeah, it is. So the arena's slightly different. Oh, that's quite unfortunate. So the final token should be at the end, after this. Alright. So we'll probably be able... That's not good. It means I've missed the final token. Oh no. Or you can just give it to me for free. That works too, I suppose. I'm gonna take that. I'm not gonna say no. Toadman! I mean, thematically, it couldn't have been a more appropriate boss. But also, it's not really going to be a tough fight, is it, here? Well, at least you tried, Toadman. At least you tried. Oh, the wind gimmick is in play. I didn't even notice that because, well, you don't actually have to jump for Toadman's fight, so I suppose you tried to implement something by adding the wind gimmick, but because Toadman's fight is so easy already, the wind gimmick really didn't take any effect since I barely jumped at all. But that's a stage. Got everything on my first round, which means no backtracking, even got a capsule. Muscle Juggler. You say you've never heard of this criminal? Well, we've probably never heard of Thunderblast Man either. Or was it Rockman X? Anyway, that's a good stage. It's a fine stage, flows well together, chooses the gimmicks it does, implements them to some solid and coherent structure, and hey, it's a lot of fun. So, a nice, rompy stage, honestly. And like I said, there was thought trying to implement the gimmick into the boss fight, but because Toadman is already so simple enough, unfortunately it didn't have anything to the battle. So let's see what our judges thought of this stage, working in the rain. Mick, 49. Well, this is certainly a decent attempt. The rain is exactly as prevalent as the title suggests, and it works well with the drill rocks, which are some of the most effective drill rocks I've seen in a while. Additionally, the whole rainy construction site concept communicates beautifully with the title, so props for the aesthetic. As for the enemies, Crocus, Hammerjoes and Hays seem to work well together, creating scenarios where they're occasionally a threat, combined with a fair difficulty curve and a lack of cheap shots, and this doesn't seem terrible. However, rainstorms make for a very tedious core gimmick, particularly when it's pushing against you. And the enemy set, while functional, is both relatively bland and especially tedious. The design is definitely decent, but I just found myself bored the entire time I was here. It's a good start, but some more active gimmicks would be much appreciated. For that matter, the 5th token was just completely arbitrary. Why was that even there? 4 tokens is completely acceptable. Beyond the above, the other thing to talk about is glitches. This used so much rain that for the first while, the level was crashing into unplayability and couldn't be judged. We've obviously fixed that at this point, and being a dev kit asset, that's particularly on the team, but it left a mark on the functionality score. That's why there was a 7. I would advise being careful with gimmick usage in the future. Not everything works when it gets used all over the level. Shin, 48. By all accounts, this is a perfectly average level. It didn't do anything amazing, and aside from a few rough spots here and there, it isn't particularly bad either. There's nothing too noteworthy about the platforming in the stage, given most of the sections revolve around pretty standard gimmick usage. As far as the rainfall and the rock spawners go, that being said, it's clear that there was some effort put into a good chunk of the room layout, as you still need to be mindful of most of your jumps. It's not all that challenging, but it's still just enough to keep your attention throughout most of the segments. On that note, I noticed that the checkpoints in this stage are placed pretty far apart from each other. If anything, I'd say this is the stage's most glaring flaw. Dying essentially means doing more legwork for previous sections than you would in most other levels. Checkpoints aside, the only other issue I have with this level relate to the ending. I get the impression there was either a lack of ideas or time constraints regarding the last token, seeing as while all the other ones required at least some level of effort to obtain, the final one is just sitting in the middle of the boss corridor. Speaking of the boss, while I appreciate trying to spice up a vanilla boss in some way, I don't think it really works here. The added rainfall doesn't really contribute anything to Toadman's fight, seeing as you can beat him without jumping. He has the stigma of being one of the easiest bosses in the series for a reason, after all, and it takes a lot to make his fight interesting or even remotely difficult for that matter. As said before though, I don't think all these things make this a bad level. A bit rough around the edges, sure, but it's still a relatively average stage. Patchy, 69. Rainy with a chance of frogs. Pretty neat aesthetics of combining the various construction theme Robot Master's tile sets together. Though it would have probably looked a little less dull with one vibrant colour or two to palette. There seems to be an inverse difficulty curve going on here, as it feels that the stage starts hard and then gets easier at the end, at least in terms of enemy placement. Interesting choice of using Hammerjoe and the frog enemies for combat with the rain physics. Definitely makes you second guess about jumping to dodge the hammer while on narrow platforms. The rock dispensers, the initial introduction is decent, but it is not enough as the rock falls immediately again if you try to lower it initially, getting out of and into the range of the drop again, leading you to get hit and be pummeled by the surprise second rock. Kind of a rude placement of the Stomper enemy right before the boss gate after dealing with a rather tricky version of the Boulder mini-boss. Boss is just regular Toadman. Sure, there's rain in the arena now, but you don't need to jump anyway to do the Manet. Not enough to spice up the fight. Lashman, a pretty decent 70. Rainy mining / construction site is a fun setting, and the music, while perhaps too obvious a choice, sets a nice tone. At a glance, or if using Rush, Jet and Laser Trident to plow ahead, it's easy to write off the challenges as tepid variations of things we've seen elsewhere. Or that's true of some setups, e.g. Climb a Ladder, Fight a Joe, so much of the level revolves around deceptively tricky combinations. Joes with Hays, a boulder-filled zigzag platform climb, Stonehead with an uneven floor, good stuff. I like how each new section starts with a checkpoint, has a distinctive look, I'm a sucker for monochrome, and challenge focus, and builds on the section before it. With the exception of a frog ambush or two, everything is introduced thoughtfully, especially the rain. I would have liked more interplay between rain and regular backgrounds, both to mess with the player and to break up some long stretches of repetitive, but still pleasant aesthetic. A little more standing water, if only as decoration, might also help. I've got a couple nitpicks regarding architecture, tilework and exploding mini-boss walls, but I'll devote my word count to the things that limit my enjoyment most. A dearth of power-ups and a handful of samey/easier than before challenges make the level feel one checkpoint longer than it should be. Magnet Beam ruins every token challenge except the last one, which ruins itself. I would have swapped out Hammer Joe overused for Pickleman Dada, more thematic, comparably trickier, and adjusted the boss fight altering the terrain further or replacing the boss to make the rain more relevant. It may not wow me the way some other levels do, but I respect the premise as well as the subtle creativity and deliberate design that characterize this level. And finally, Ace 43. Hammer Joe is the enemy you use when you run out of ideas. It was your first enemy, and over 50% of the enemies were Hammer Joes. It doesn't help that the other enemies either couldn't be killed or had a huge amount of health. If Laser Trident were not in the engine, this would be an unplayable, boring level. It's a shame because I think that the level architecture and gimmick could have been pretty decent, but it's so hard to tell around the enemies that cover the stage. The average checkpoint was around 4 dull repetitive minutes, and the end of the first section was particularly punishing for this, given that you died if you did not understand the rock falling gimmick immediately. There is not much more to say, as the enemy choice completely killed the stage. Wow, really short one from Ace, huh? Well, I said initially, the Toadman boss fight, adding the gimmick with the rain and wind is good to change up the Death Kit vanilla boss, but because Toadman is so easy, you can beat him without jumping, which basically trivializes the fight and makes the gimmick completely useless. But I appreciate the thought. The level structure and design is pretty much bog standard stuff. It doesn't do anything too crazy, but it's not bad either. I suppose like Mick said, you can probably just play it mostly on autopilot, get through the stage, deal with some enemy challenges, deal with some gimmicks, and move on. It does have some sense of flow, and it definitely did flow well. I only did have the one accidental death by bonking my head on the platform, and I think like Flashman said, I used Magnet Beam for nearly all of the Trickster tokens. The first one I missed, so I used Magnet Beam. Second one, I didn't even see the solution immediately, so Magnet Beam. Third one, you can fall through, which is where I died, so you can get that one. Fourth, I honestly don't remember, and the fifth one is just, gimme! So I appreciate the flow and coherent nature of the stage, but it's essentially a rompy stage that you play through, and it doesn't have anything that will make it spectacularly memorable. And that's probably the biggest weakness of the stage. It's a perfectly fine stage to play, but overall it's not one that will stand out and shine among so many other entries in this contest. And with that said, I'm gonna take a quick refreshing pause and let's move on to the next one.